Well, we're finally here. Riot's big summer event has arrived, which can only mean one thing. Guys, we are actually getting content. And I don't mean just new champions, which hardly affect your games. We are actually getting new things to do in League of Legends, as well as TFT, Wild Rift, and Legends of Runeterra. Sorry, Valorant wasn't invited because they just got their deathmatch and other things. Anyway, Riot's summer event is always the biggest piece of content which they try to push out. Be it Star Guardians, Spirit Blossom, or even the Ruination. And so it should not be a surprise that the new Soul Fighter event will contain a lot of new things. And today I'll show you a piece of everything that you can find in all of Riot's games. Besides Valorant. And also, even though this is a fighting event, there are no news on Project L. I assume that one's gonna come during EVO. Also, keep in mind that about 2 weeks ago I traveled to Riot's headquarters, and I did get a chance to play the new game modes. Also, the embargo drops today, so I can technically talk about everything, but I don't have any exclusive footage. More importantly, it seems like the dates might align in a way that suggests that the game mode is gonna drop onto PvE now. Whether that is true, that's for my future self to find out. Regardless, it is important to mention that this entire event will run from July 20th to August 28th. So, that's whole 6 weeks of new game modes. But now, strap up and let's have a look at what is happening in League of Legends. Obviously, all the content is themed around Soul Fighter, a universe that does actually have a story. Now, I don't know the story, even though I did play an earlier build, but it is all happening around the Soul tournament. So maybe they are fighting for souls? I'll circle back to this when I finish the event. Anyway, the big feature of this event is the new Arena game mode, which is also known as 2v2v2v2. I played this one for a little bit and oh my god, this one has potential. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if people wanted this one to be permanent. There are a lot of reasons why it is good. First of all, because it is a 2v2v2v2, there is only a 25% chance that you are going to win. So already you are not going into this game mode with the coin flip mentality. Also, because your team is essentially you and one other person, you can carry a lot. So if you lose a lot, the chances are it may actually be because of you. Also, the fights are very quick, very simple, and there are hazards which turn everything into some wacky fun. And on top of that, there are also augments. Yes, this also does have roguelike elements. And as you'll see, some of these augments are really crazy. To cap it all off, be ready to see some cool new environments. And I don't mean just one shopping arena and one new map. There should be a bit more than that. So overall, this game mode does actually have a massive potential. And in my eyes, it is going to live and die by how replayable it is. Hopefully, the wacky fun is going to carry it far. But also, as you play it, notice how many modular features this new game mode has. It seems like it was designed with the intention that if people like it, they can add more onto it. Be it more augments, more maps, or new hazards. So far, things are looking bright. Of course, besides the new game mode, around this time, League will also get the newest champion, which is Necrit, the Hound of 100 Bites. And of course, there will also be a bunch of new skins. There is an ultimate skin for Samira, a legendary skin for Viego, and then we have normal skins for Naafiri, Shaco, Pyke, Sett, Lux, Jinx, Gwen, and Evelynn. That is a lot of new skins, and they should be split into 2 waves, just like what they did with, for example, Star Guardians. And each wave should also get 1 prestige skin, so that should be Prestige Shaco and Pyke. Of course, all of this will also be wrapped in with a battle pass, from which some people already data mined some emotes and icons. But during the entire summer event, 20% of all the proceeds from Samira's skin, the pass, and all the bundles will go to Riot Games' Social Impact Fund. So even though there is a lot of new cosmetics here, it will generate a lot for charity. But we are still not done yet, because of course there's also a new in-client experience. This one is called Tournament of Souls. It's a new metagame that is replacing the previous visual novels. This time, it is a fighting game. And in the trailer, you can actually see a few seconds of it. When I was at Riot, I did get to try this one for a little bit. It was one of the early fights and I have to say, it was fine. I can't really drop my judgment on it because I only played it for a few minutes, but there were some customizations, there was a bit of strategy, so hopefully it will be turned into some engaging fun. And not just mindlessly mashing buttons, even though all of this is themed after fighting games. The good thing is that this minigame will also have 2 difficulties if you are looking for a little bit of challenge. Also, as you go through this fighter, you will also get some story, which of course most people are going to skip, but I might cover it just so other people don't have to. But that should be it for what we'll see in League of Legends. It is honestly quite a bit of new content. So now let's move on to TFT. While TFT is not going too crazy because they just launched a new set, as you'll see, it is still a bit more than you would expect. First of all, we got a new tactician, Gwen, who also comes in with the Soul Fighter skin, which also has a finisher, but this one is really cool. Of course, there is also gonna be a new arena, which might be a bit pricier. The new little legend, Cat's Eye, will also become available. Of course, there will also be a new Soul Fighter pass. And actually, I am pretty sure that the games in TFT will also progress the minigame in League. But if I'm wrong, don't quote me on that. But TFT also has a new game mode called Soul Brawl. Of course, the entire new set is really good, so most people will still focus on playing ranked. But I'm happy to say that this game mode is actually really interesting. You see, for the first few rounds, you just don't die. You just get some score every round and you get more score if you win. And every few rounds you get some loot based on how well you did. After that, the game transitions into a bracket-styled tournament, where you simply get knocked out if you lose. People just progress through the brackets until there is only one winner. Honestly, this system is really cool, but again, TFT's new set is cool in general. Lastly, when it comes to TFT, they are also getting their own in-client narrative experience called the Chonk Dome. I have no idea what this is, but I assume it is the tiny interactive thing, just like what we got during Lunar New Year. It should have some missions and some tiny rewards. But that is pretty much it for TFT as well. It is still more than I expected, which means it's time to have a look at Wild Rift. Of course, Wild Rift always gets cool things. From Star Guardians to the Winter Holiday to the fact that they just get an event every 2 weeks. So again, Wild Rift is getting cool things. First of all, Neela is joining Wild Rift and she will also get her own Soul Fighter skin. But this time around, you might notice that all the skins between Wild Rift and League of Legends are different. I am pretty sure there are no overlaps at all. So, Wild Rift is getting Neela, Draven, Yasuo, Irelia, Xin Zhao, and a special edition of Draven. Of course, all of this will also come with a pass, and they will also get their new in-client narrative experience. This one also appeared for a few seconds in the new trailer, and it also seems to be a fighter, although this one looks a bit different. I wouldn't be surprised if it was some kind of a rhythm game, since you can see the symbols in the middle, and it seems like you are supposed to match them with the controls. Anyway, yeah, of course, Wild Rift is also getting cool things. And on top of that, Wild Rift also has its own new game mode. This one is called Tag Duel. And honestly, this one is insane. Apparently, it is a game mode where you get matched in 1v1 fights. But before the fights, you can pick 3 champions and you seamlessly switch between them in the middle of the fight. It's kinda like Genshin. They just casually build Genshin inside their own game. It has to be a retaliation for Genshin taking TFT. How can they keep getting away with these cool things? Think of all the combos you can pull off on your own. League, please actually steal this one. During the tutorial, you can actually swap characters in League as well. I know you can pull this off, but this takes us to Legends of Runeterra, who got a bit of a short end of the stick. We got new emotes, card backs, a new battle pass, and 8 new skins. There is an epic Nidalee, Viego and Set, as well as rare skins for Samira, Jhin, Gwen, Pyke and Evelynn. But that is kinda it. So, after such a long time without any real new content in League, people are setting up their expectations. And honestly, to me, this feels like the make it or break it moment. From what I've played, however, things are looking bright. And at least for a while, people will enjoy the new game modes. We'll just have to see how long will they stick for. So let's hope Riot can keep it up, and let's hope that next year Riot won't just give us a Star Guardian crown.